Today on the Philly Talk podcast, a Cleveland Browns beat reporter left joint practices praising Jalen Hurts and this Eagles team. Deshaun Watson called an Eagles beat reporter a liar on Twitter. All-pro left guard Jobe Bitonio decided to say the Eagles took some cheap shots. And of course, the Eagles and Browns still got to play preseason game 2.
This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike. Talking Sixers in the bird gang, that's our life. Competition, we ain't scared, yeah, that's what we like. Win or lose, you know we showing up and we gon' fight. You see we strive for the sky every day that go by. And every single week we screaming fly, Eagles fly. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah.
What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk podcast, and today we got a lot to get into. But before we do that, Eagle Nation, can I ask y'all a favor? Help your boy out. Hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, and ding that bell. That way you're notified when we drop these videos, put out YouTube shorts, or go live, which we will be doing tomorrow at 7:30. Depending on when you're watching this, it might be Thursday at 7:30 if you're watching it today, for the simple fact the Eagles and Browns still got to play a preseason game. All this animosity in joint practices, I'm curious to see what goes down during the actual game. Again, I will be live for the play-by-play. Come through and let's talk some football. Now, I talked to you about this yesterday. This is just the beginning. Air Hurts shirts will be dropping by the end of the week. This is the black one with the Kelly Green writing. We'll also have the Kelly Green one with the black and white writing. Speaking of Michael Jordan, Jalen Hurts was asked about him on CBS, and he said he's been in touch with Michael Jordan. He's a great person, a great mentor. He says MJ has been very helpful to him. And if you saw the comments on the Twitter version of it, it was crazy. Eagle fans talking about that guarantees us a couple rings, and I ain't mad at it. But at the end of the day, I just want to talk about 2023, and I am very high on Jalen Hurts in 2023 and this Philadelphia Eagles team in 2023, and I ain't the only one. A Browns beat reporter came to Philly for 2 days of joint practices and left saying pretty much the same thing. Browns reporter at Tony Grossi following the Eagles and Browns joint practices. I must say, one of the most impressive players in these 2 days was Jalen Hurts. They're going strong. I look for the Eagles to get back to the Super Bowl. Did you hear that? This is a Browns reporter. This ain't a Philly guy. This ain't a Philly fan. This is a ESPN old school Browns reporter with a $132K on Twitter. He's not going to just toot the horn of the boat of another team for no reason. He saw what the Eagles did in these 2 joint practices, and he jumped on the bandwagon. Another person talking highly of Hurts is, of course, Andy Reid, and I think it's because he's nervous about the Super Bowl rematch that might be coming. He was on WIP, and he said he's a good one. I'm happy for Howie Roseman and the staff they have that got him. He's a good kid. He's a heck of a player. The Eagles are in good hands, man. Philadelphia will have an opportunity to win every year with him. That's my big thing. We know Reid thinks highly of Jalen Hurts. He spoke about it. But for a coach like that, with a quarterback like that, to say the Eagles will have an opportunity every year with Jalen Hurts goes a long way. It goes a long way. Now, Deshaun Watson did make some nice throws in 7-on-7s. He has some good ones in 11-on-11s, but his better ones were 7-on-7. He called the Eagles beat reporter a liar on Twitter. Elliot Shore-Parks talking about the training camp stats of Deshaun Watson. He quote tweeted it and said, LOL, cap. Now, here's the actual tweet that he said cap on. Let me read it to you. Deshaun Watson training camp stats versus Eagles defense. Mind you, I've said in every video that Elliot Shore-Parks is the most judgmental beat writer, the most critical to the Eagles. Now he's capping on the Browns anyways. Let me read it. The Eagles defense definitely got the better of Watson during the joint practices. Watson had a few really nice throws at times, beating good coverage with better throws. His arm definitely has the ability to make special throws. The pass rush definitely got the better of Watson, as he was really only effective in 7-on-7, not 11-on-11. The Eagles pressured forced Watson into some bad decisions, and in 2 days, they ended up picking him off as many times as they allowed interceptions. Stats on day 2, 7 of 16, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Overall in 2 days for Watson, 17 of 33, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. I say that to say this. I tweeted, were the 3 interceptions capped, Deshaun Watson? Because there was more than one Eagles beat reporter that mentioned the interceptions. 2 to Reid Blankenship on day 2 and 1 to Reid Blankenship on day 1. The ghost. He must be a ghost because he keeps getting picks. You're not seeing him, although some of them were tipped. I said, I don't know about the numbers, though. That's a much for me for practice. I'm with all the players that don't like recording statistics in practice, and I understand interceptions in practice. It's just practice. But don't call cap on the interceptions. If you're going to call cap on the numbers, be specific, because you got Cowboy fans and Brown fans saying, I told you Eagle beat writers lie. They've been lying all preseason practice, blah, 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 right? One of the Eagle fans posted this at the comment section, and it's a Cleveland Brown radio show saying this. Listen. If it plays. I agree with him. It's August 16th. It's only practice. But for Deshaun Watson to call cap, what are you calling cap on? The interceptions? Don't take away what the Eagles did good. If you don't like the statistics, or you're not trying to count 7-on-7, if you don't like the 7 of 16, the 17 and 33, it is what it is. Call out the truth. But Elliott Shore-Parks, John Clark, Zach Berman, Brandon Lee Gowton, Josh T, they all talked about the picks. You threw 3 picks in 2 days. Let's see what you got on game day if Cleveland plays their starters. Now, as for Joel Bitonio, the all-pro left guard, he said the Eagles got chippy. Not chippy. His exact words were a lot more tougher than chippy. He said the Eagles were taking cheap shots. By cheap shots, I want to know a little bit more into it. He talked about Josh Sweat smacking the ball out of Watson's hand. I understand Hurts got a red jersey on. Watson got a orange jersey on. As a sack, you just go walk by him or you tap him on the shoulder. So he tapped the ball out of his hand. Stop being soft. If you're talking about Jalen Carter, a rookie, beating a 2-time All-Pro, 5-time Pro Bowler, well, I can't help you on that. It's not my fault that you went against the number 9 overall pick and he put you on your backside. It's not my fault that since Jalen Carter has been in the league, he did not only do you dirty, he's been doing people dirty. It is what it is. Because Myles Garrett was asked, do you think the Eagles took some cheap shots? He said, not to my knowledge. Myles Garrett on defense, Joel Bitonio on offense. The only real cheap shot was when Watson threw an interception. And again, that's Watson throwing an interception. It was tipped, landed in the hands of Reid Blankenship, who's actually a little late on this coverage. And rookie Sidney Brown plowed into somebody on a block. That's where the whole big fight, where flags came out, referees had to break the whole team up. That was the maybe cheap shot, probably accident, blocking young guy. But you made it sound like we were taking cheap shot after cheap shot. Smacking the ball out of someone's hand, that's not a cheap shot. Was it a cheap shot when you tried to throw a back shoulder fade to end the game and Josh Jobe got the interception? Was that a cheap shot? I don't think so. So we going to see how chippy this game gets via the preseason game with the number 1s, 2s, and 3s. I doubt the Eagles play much of the 1s, although you might see Gainwell, because Nick Sirianni said we suited up Sirianni. We suited up DeAndre Swift for game 1 of the preseason. Now we might do Kenneth Gainwell. Probably only a couple snaps. But at the end of the day, come on now. This is football. Joint practice. Nobody got hurt. Relax. Now I want to look at this Josh Jobe interception again because it was a nice pick. They tried to throw a back shoulder fade. Josh Jobe, nice interception. But look at all the people celebrating with him. Kevon Wallace, Justin Evans, Terrell Edmonds, Devontae Swift, Jalen Carter. Like, the fact that Jalen Carter ran up, Devontae Swift, can't talk now. I'm combining names. Devontae Smith ran up. That just goes to show how much this young player, Josh Jobe, is loved in the locker room, how a lot of people believe in him growing. We heard James Bradbury speak highly, Darius Slay speak highly. This young cornerback competition is healthy. It's strong. Eli Ricks, Josh Jobe, Keely Ringo, Mekhi Garner, Mario Goodrich, who nobody's talking about, but PFF graded him 96. He got a 96 grade for his preseason game against the Baltimore Ravens. The young cornerback competition is so deep, but Josh Jobe is loved in there, and so is a couple other people, right? Now, let's talk about this Eagle versus Browns preseason game, and we're not going to get into DVOA matchups because we don't know what the Browns do strong or weak, right? Where we can exploit them because this ain't the regular season. If you've been following me for a minute, we do that for the regular season, but this is the preseason. What I want to see is production. I want to see the offense make things happen. I want to see this guy play more than 2 snaps. I want to see Jalen Carter get more than 2 snaps. I, of course, want to see Nolan Smith with more of this type of production, right? Not the over pursuit, think too much and try to be the hero. Play your responsibility. Do what you're asked of. Don't try to go make the superhero play because it could catch you in the NFL. He learned that the hard way with a 40-yard run on him. I want to see young guys like Keely Ringo come in and play heavy minutes, tough minutes, get PBUs, right? And if you do get a touchdown on you, you know what I mean? Fall back, forget about it, and play. Eli Ricks was the UDFA that got the pick 6, the big play on defense. Will it be a guy like Josh Jobe, Mario Goodrich, right? And we saw DeAndre Swift, beautiful run. Then they pulled him, right? Let me restart that. Beautiful run. And then they pulled him. Will we see a beautiful run from Kenny G, who's trying to get, first, second string touches as well as it pertains to the regular season? What are we going to see from the young guys? There's a lot of guys I really want to see. The depth pieces, Christian Ellis I would like to see step up. I want to see more from Nicholas Morrow, Miles Jack, Zach Cunningham, the whole linebacking group. If Nakobe Dean's healthy, don't press him. But if he's healthy, I would like to see a little bit. Let me know in the comment section, would you like to see any minutes from the starters? I want to see as a fan, but I don't want to get hurt, so I understand. But the linebackers, I need them all to be in there, rotating. I got to see pairs and how they react. I want to see the youngsters on the D-line. I want to see more of a Jomo who won his matchups. I want to see all the youthful guys in the secondary. I want to see Kevon. I want to see Cindy Brown, who straight up said, I want to be feared. We talked about that on yesterday's video. Let me know who you want to see in preseason game 2. A lot to talk about. Can't wait to break down actual games where teams have weaknesses and blah, 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 plus Jalen Hurts dicing them up. Until next time, leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to help your boy out by hitting that like button. It's free. It's easy. It don't cost a thing. It's greatly appreciated. Deshaun Watson, you lied. You threw 3 interceptions. Forget the stats. I'm with you. We don't need to talk about the stats. But stop lying. And everybody hop on the Eagles bandwagon. We out.